Alright guys, today we'll be doing fuel filters on a 2011 that has a 6.7 diesel in it. There's the part number. These are the contents. Here's the primary, secondary. Alright, here's the primary fuel filter for the 6.7 diesel from Ford. It's a little bit different than the other ones, a lot easier to work on. It's driver's side frame rail, 3/4 away back, maybe 2/3. Can't miss it, right by the transfer case there. Most applications. First thing you're going to do is disconnect the whiff sensor. Hook it up something like that. Stays out of the way then. Doesn't get full of diesel. And then start draining it. I'll drain the water and sediment out. And let that drain the whole time you're unscrewing it. Okay, just unscrew it with a 32mm socket. After a certain point, it'll stop. There's a check valve in there, and it'll stop it automatically from draining from the tank. Once it gets so far, you can just do it by hand. And after the initial pressure release like that, because we have access to that water bowl at the bottom, I tighten this now. Drain. And then you can do the rest of it by hand. The whole thing comes off. Hook that, get it out. You want to change it every time. Comes in the kit. There it is. Alright, just keep putting that new O-ring up there. Just keep rolling it. And it'll pop into its groove. There's only one spot for it. Just make sure it's in the groove all the way around. Fuel filter just pulls out. You can see we got full access to the water bowl down there where it all collects. There's a whiff sensor, the 2 electrodes for the sensor. Just dump it out and clean it up in there. And snap your new filtering. It goes right there in the center where all the tangs are at. You want to take this end and stick it into the filter housing, and it'll snap into place like so. Okay, now we're ready. We got our filter assembled. This goes onto there. Screw it on as far as you can by hand. What's unique about these is that they will stop. There's an actual stop point on there that you can't go further past, and will properly line up the sensor and the drain. So, ratchet, tighten it. You'll feel it start getting tight when you hit that O-ring. And then you're going to feel a dead stop, just like that. Stop right there. You'll know. It'll be gliding along, turning just fine, and it'll just stop suddenly. That's the stopping point. Alright, once it hit the stop, we're all set. Filter's tight. Make sure your drain is tightened once again, and take your whiff sensor out of your loop up there. Snap it on just like that. Quick wipe down of the area. so we can check for leaks properly when we're done. Should be nothing coming out here from residue. Okay, the secondary fuel filter is totally different than previous Ford engines. This right here is a fill bleed port from the factory. It's a third nipple on the fuel filter housing. This is how you know this is a factory original filter. Service filters do not come with this. That's how you'd be able to tell if it's ever been changed. The right intervals. Got a 40,000 mile truck, looking to buy it. Still has that on there. Not a good sign. So this one, these are all quick connects. There's two little tangs in this green one. Pop them up. Okay, you're going to want to make sure that there's rags underneath. There will be some spillage. No pressure, just spillage from the lines. Literally slide right off. A couple drips like that. Okay, this other fitting, there's a little push button here, and the other side you squeeze both at the same time. Pull it out. Now, depending on what model year your Ford truck is at, 2011s have a screw right here, a screw, and it's basically a band clamp that goes around the housing, and that's all that holds it. The new ones, it's a plastic housing that the plastic filter sits in, and it's a quarter turnstile, whereas this one has a band clamp plus the quarter turnstile. So you just need to loosen this. You don't need to take it out, just you know, just about all the way. Leave it in there so you don't lose it down in the engine here. And you quarter turn it counterclockwise and then lift up. I'll show you here in a second. Okay, that screw is loose now, and as you can see, it's not, you know, taken out. Just loosen, and you literally turn it until it stops, and then lift up. Shimmy and lift up. Lay it down like that for now so nothing spills out. Take your new one. It's gonna go in off center like that. Off to the side like that. You take it, and it'll stop again. Get the right location. Tighten your bolt. Alright, I use a 1/4 inch ratchet, 6-inch extension, 7mm socket, and just snug it up by hand, and then literally do this line. Put it on there squarely until he snaps just like that. You can start pulling these out of here now. This one, same thing. Just literally pushes on until it stops, and that should easily snap down like that. Give them a tug back and forth real quick. Make sure they're on there. Just wipe it down. We got new fuel filters. As you have now seen, it's a lot simpler to work on the fuel filters anyways for the 6.7. It should take you about 10-15 minutes in all reality. So, not too bad of a job. Good idea. It's the most important item to maintain on a 6.7 is the fuel system. So, high quality filters, clean procedures when you're changing them, regular interval changes, and it'll help out a lot. Okay, so the same thing applies to the 6.7, 6.4, 6.0. After you change the filters, everything's tight, secure, clean. Cycle the key 6 times, waiting 30 seconds each key, each turn of the key, like this. Turn the key on, wait 30 seconds, and then you turn the key off. That's one cycle. Do that 6 times, and check for leaks. and then let it idle for a while so it can get any small air bubbles out of the system before you start driving it. And recheck for leaks is a good idea. 6-7 liters, at least the high cluster anyways, like so, have a minder for the fuel filters and coolant. I'll show you how to get to that. You go settings, vehicle, and then you go up to, there it is, maintenance, and you got the options, coolant or fuel. I gotta reset this one. Literally just hold the button, it'll reset. That way your minders are reset